G'day. What we're doing today is a cleaning run for the 2-inch combination still that I've made put together this week. There'll be flux and stuff left inside this copper work, so what we're going to do is throw a mixture of vinegar and water into the kettle here, set the thing up and blast it out. It's a pretty crappy day today. There's plenty of wind. Normally I wouldn't bother trying to distill in weather like this, but I'm not worried about temperature fluctuations in the kettle today. I just want to run it hard and fast and blast hot vinegar and water gas vapor through the still right out the end. So to start off, we'll throw about 10 litres of vinegar. Second one in here. So just fill these guys up with tap water, and I'll pop these in here. So between 4 of these, it's going to give me 20 litres, which is just under half a charge for this kettle. It's a 50 litre kettle. I'm not too worried about the weight, the amount in here. It's mainly the weight. I don't want the column to topple over. And having half a charge means it's going to heat up a lot faster. And we're not distilling anything. We just basically want to blast hot vapor, vinegar and water vapor through this thing as fast as possible. Half a charge is going to heat up a lot sooner. There we go. So what I'll do now is start putting my column and still together. Two different kinds of gaskets that I use. One's some PTFE ones, which I've just got recently. They're like a hard plastic, and some silicone ones. I've heard discussion on I've joined some distilling forums just very recently. Some comments on silicone gaskets and such. The silicone gaskets I use, they come from a company that manufacture dairy equipment that deals with quite high temperature. These ones will deal with higher temperature, and they tend not to be so prone to being crushed. So I'll use these ones where things are going to take a bit of weight, and these ones where there's a little less weight on them. I'm going to have to remove part of my tarp because this reflux column will actually go higher than the tarp. I've got a 1 metre length of 2-inch copper as the base of the column, and that will serve, whether it's a pot still or a reflux still, that will serve as the first part of the column to be packed for a reflux still, or unpacked for a pot still configuration. I'll get my gas started up, because that's going to be a long time coming. Now put the rest of the beast together. The deflegmator goes to the top of it. Next thing I've got to do is just wrap my thermometers with Thomas tape so that the thread locks and seals. I'm not going to tighten these guys right up like I would for a proper run. If it leaks out a little bit around here, that's just going to clean out any more, you know, give it a bit more of a clean in there if it needs to. What I'll do now is hoist the beast up onto the top of the column here. So I've got it set up now. In the time between the last couple of cuts, I've hooked up all the hoses and stuff. I didn't think a man dicking about with plumber's tape and a screwdriver would make it terribly enthralling YouTube, so I didn't bother putting any of that on there. What I've done is kinked the condenser arm, Gatling gun arm off to an angle so you can see how you can direct your spirit output away from your flame down here, if you're using an open flame in this case. If you had elements in here and it was all controlled with a PID, you could just have the condenser arm running straight down parallel to the column, but if you're using an open flame, it's probably not a good idea to have your spirit coming down right next to your flame, potentially. The thing I've done here is I've had to wrap a bit of rope. That's a bit hillbilly, but I'm in the bush and I've got a beard, so the shoe fits. I just have this kettle stuck up on 3 bricks, 5 bricks underneath there, and that's been fine for my pot still, because the head of my pot still is about here. This thing goes way up, so my next job is to make a proper ring, get rid of the bricks, make a proper ring that the gas burner can sit under and lifts the pot up. Other reason I've got it roped down is there's less than half the charge there normally is in here, so I have hardly any ballast in there, so I'm just a bit worried about the height of that column on that unstable footing there. So the bottom of the deflegmator is on 100, just boiling point of water obviously with the vinegar mixed in there, and up the top it's spiked. It's just coming up to 100 very quickly. That's in the top of the column, so fairly short order we should be getting something out of here. So I just had some of the vinegar water solution starting to come out of the bottom here now. There's no water flowing through the condenser or the deflegmator. There's just water sitting in there. That's bypassing it all now and coming out here. Oh, and we got steam now. Oh, that stinks of vinegar. Managed to get a gust of wind just came through. It was enough to cool the pipes, the column and the condenser and stuff, and you instantly had that steam venting out of the top of the parrot stop. It doesn't take much, and it's what I find when I'm running my pot still. If I get a gust of wind through with the 4-inch column off the pot still, that's the result. Oh Jesus, that stinks. It's going to be a problem with running this thing, I can see. I may have to find somewhere extra sheltered for it, or build a little enclosure, like a little water cupboard, outside water cupboard that sits in while it's running, just to keep the wind off it. what I'll do just for a second is turn on the water and see how long it takes to get some kind of condensing going on there. So we'll go from having the steam plume out of the parrot to having more of a drip out of the bottom of it, or a constant stream. Oh, that's killed it straight away. If anyone's wondering what this hoop here is, that's just actually the condenser link tube out of off my flag stand. It usually runs between my bumper and my flag stand. Probably do with a bit of a clean, but it also just gets the parrot down a bit lower, make it a bit more manageable. Which I may look at in future, running the tube off the condenser a bit longer and having the return down here somewhere. And the liquid that's collecting in that pot there, I don't know if you can see it, has a bluish tinge to it, which is all the copper salts and crap that's coming out of the pipes after construction with the flux. That's the whole purpose of doing this cleaning run and burning the hell out of everything. Well, not burning. You're getting everything into solution through those pipes with that acrid hot vapor. So I'll just leave that to cook off for another half hour or so. Come back and see what it's doing, and pull it all apart and give it a clean. So I can't help myself, I just keep coming back here and messing with this thing. Got the steam vent coming out of there, there's no cooling in the condenser, nothing in the deflegmator. See the bottom of the deflegmator is 100 degrees. Top here is around 100 degrees. Just slightly below. That's the temperature in the top of the column. And as soon as we give it some water through here, watch that space. That takes a while to kick in, because the water is going through the condenser first. So it's hot water going into the phlegmator. After a while that will cool down just because of the volume that's running through. There we go. Look at that bugger creeping back. That's an insane amount of control. Now if I cut our water, I'll need a far more accurate valve for these guys, some kind of needle valve for the water to control the water flow. One for the condenser and one for the deflegmator. Bottom of the deflegmator is only changed by a couple of degrees because that's basically the temperature at the top of that column. All the hot vapors coming out of the pot, rising up there, hitting the deflegmator and coming back down again. Only adjusted by a couple of degrees. And the temp in the column head of the column there, should be screaming up any minute. And when it kicks off, it gets back up to temperature. There we go. It's almost as fast as the drop when I turn the water on. Being able to tweak that with a needle valve will be insanely accurate. Totally different from running a pot still, and very cool on its own. I will be interested in having a play and seeing how much flavour I can get out with very little packing in there. Anyway, experiments for another day.